Okay, well, I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas out there, or Hanukkah, or whatever it is that you celebrate. This video is kind of out of order. I thought I lost some footage when I shot some video a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I ended up finding the footage, so this is going to seem kind of out of order. The last video you saw where the wheel went on, the video footage that I thought I lost was actually the components that go on the front end over here. So we're going to talk about that in this video, along with installing the risers, and show you the difference between the left and the right risers. Yeah, it is a different riser. It's the same height, everything, but it adds one more component to it that you got to be aware of if you're taking the risers off and you're putting it back on. So we're going to go over that, and then I'm going to show you some of the dust covers and how that fits for the stem bearings. So okay, so now we got the wheel done. I'm over here at the front of the bike because there's some pieces that we have to put on the front end before I can get the fender on. And this is the front end of this with the tires, really a pain in the ass because you have to kind of turn the fender on its side to get it up through the forks. And there's bolts sticking out and all this other crap. And it's not an easy thing just to take, if you want to take the tire off, because everything is all connected up here. So just a few pieces I got to put in. And then we can move on to something else. But let me show you what I have to do. Okay, so we got a few pieces that we have to put on. We got to put the caliper bracket on. Then we have to put these other two braces on to tie into the caliper bracket, because the fender with one bolt ties into this, and then the axle goes through the actual fender too. So like this has to go on. Actually, I need the spacers for that. We'll worry about that in a little bit. So this has to go on like this. And I kind of cleaned all these bolts off with that Dremel with the wire brush to clean all the threads off of it. Now I already torqued this bolt down here. That had to go to 50 pounds. So I did torque that down already because I didn't do that the other day. And this doesn't really call for any Loctite on this. The only one that calls for Loctite, I think, is the fender, if I remember right. But I'm still having an issue with the wheel spacing on this. All right, so we got that in. Now we need this cross piece here. It's got to go on this side. And we have this. And I have to get the spacers. Hold on. All right, so on this piece here, there's two spacers that go on the inside like that. There's a rubber washer that goes on first, and then there's a steel one, and then this goes on like this, and that just slides in like that. And I've got another washer right here. There. So we got that tied in up there, and then the axle, of course, goes down through here. So the fender is going to go, in here. There's another bunch of spacers that go here. So let's move up to we'll move up to the top. We'll put the shock on, and I wanted to show you the dust covers. Okay, so the part of the video that kind of got chopped off in the last video was me putting the bearing on the stem here. So if you come over here, you can see how big this dust cover is. These are the covers that come with this kit. So there's no way that is going to cover the whole top of the stem. Now the bottom one, if you look at it here, that cover actually fits up in the bottom, goes up against the race. So this one is different than this one. This is a smaller one than the top one because, again, this one fits up inside, and this one just sits over the top of the race. Okay, so we got the headlight mount on. So I can move this a little bit. Okay, so we can finish putting in the this windshield mount. Okay, so we got that taken care of. Now we can actually do the risers up here. I'm going to show you the pieces to the riser. Okay, so on the risers, you have these shafts that go up. They just screw in, I guess, the top of this triple tree, like this. And these just tighten up. They're tapered at the bottom, and I'll show you the next one when I do it. So it's tapered like that. Then you have a rubber bumper type thing that goes over that. And then on the top of the riser, this is the riser itself, that slides down over that. And then on top of this, there's another rubber bumper that actually goes inside. You can see it goes inside like that. And then this just presses down on top of it. Then you've got a washer that goes on here. Then you've got a nut. All right, so then you just tighten this down. Now it's not going to go all the way to the bottom of this, so we're going to just do it snug for now. And then you got the caps that go on like this. Now the right one is a little different than the left, and I'll show you why. Okay, you can see how that's tapered, and if you look in the top of this, it's kind of tapered too. So again, this just screws in. I didn't really want to tighten it down until I had this one in here kind of tight. And you get the same rubber bumper that goes on it. Same bumper that's inside, same washer. So we put that down like that. Push this down. Almost identical to the left one, except for this one little last thing I got to do. So on this right side, there's actually a spring. This was kind of rusty. I kind of cleaned it off as best I could. I could not find one of these. So this spring goes on top of this nut. And then of course the handlebar rides on this spring. And that's basically just the ground for the headlights. For the front lights anyway, not just the headlights. And we're just going to do these finger tight because I'll have to put the handlebars on. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this video. I've got to work on some stuff on the fender and the wheel because that's going to be a pain to get those spacing right and get the end play right. I'm just assuming that the spacers that were with this bike are the correct ones. They might not be, but we'll have to fool around with it because again, you've got this bracket for the caliper that's part of a spacer for the wheel that most bikes don't have. They don't have that spacer at all on there. It's just basically the axle going through it. So you got to take that into consideration. So we'll get the fender and the wheel on next, and then we'll get the handlebars, and pretty soon we'll be done and fire this thing up and get it running for a little bit. So anyway, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.